Forms and data capture. Why forms matter. Forms are one of the most important components in any application because they are the primary way we collect information from users. Think about it: every time you log in, sign up, check out in an online store, or submit a contact form, you're using a form. A well-designed form should be clear so users know exactly what information is needed. Be simple, not overwhelming with too many fields at once. Guide the user step by step, making the process easy. Good forms feel effortless. Bad forms, on the other hand, can cause frustration and even make users abandon the app or website. That's why form design is such a crucial part of UI. Essential form elements. Now let's look at the building blocks of forms. Depending on the type of data we need, we use different input elements, input fields, for single-line text like name, email, or password. Text areas, for longer text like comments or descriptions. Checkboxes, for selecting multiple options, like select all that apply. Radio buttons, for choosing only one option from a list, like selecting a plan. Drop-downs, for choosing from a long list, such as selecting a country. Buttons, to submit the form or perform an action. White right pointing back hand index. The key is to use the right tool for the right question. For example, don't use a text box for selecting gender if you only want one choice. A radio button would be better. Validation and error handling. Now, let's think about what happens when users make mistakes in forms. That's where validation and error handling come in. Validation is about checking if the input is correct. For example, an email must contain an errata. A contact number must have 10 digits. If the input is wrong, we need to handle it gracefully with clear error messages. Not just vague things like invalid input, but specific, helpful guidance. White right pointing back hand index example. Instead of showing crossmark error for 22, show white heavy check mark. This email is already registered. Did you mean to log in instead? Good error handling is not about pointing fingers at the user, it's about helping them fix the problem quickly. Guiding the user with error handling. There are two main ways to show errors in a form: inline errors, shown directly below or next to the field that has the problem. This is helpful for short forms because the user can immediately see what to fix. Summary errors, shown at the top of the form, listing all errors in one place. This is better for long forms with many fields. The golden rule: be clear, concise, and constructive. White right pointing back hand index example of bad error message, crossmark error for 22. White right pointing back hand index example of good error message, white heavy check mark. Please enter a valid phone number with 10 digits. This way, users feel guided instead of confused.